In this video, let's talk about making money with your web design skills. Now, there's so many page builders out there that help you design a website, which you can then sell to your clients. So oftentimes I see that people talk about features. Oh, Divi needs to have this. It needs to have this feature. It needs to have this feature. I want this feature. I want this feature. And same thing applies to, let's say, Etch or Bricks Builder or Gutenberg. Features, 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 features. But you see, when you approach everything like this, you're actually neglecting the main purpose of what a website should do. And if you want to make money designing websites, then you need to focus on creating websites that are targeting or resolving a specific problem. And oftentimes the problem is sales or leads. So in a nutshell, you can actually build a website that can generate leads or sales even using Gutenberg. But when I hear people talk about, I need this feature or I need that feature, I need this feature, you'll find that some of the basics of websites can actually solve a basic problem. But the features that we are asking for over and over again are a way for us to procrastinate and not want to take that action of looking for those clients so that we can make money. That is what I see is a bit of a problem in the web design community. We want this feature and we won't proceed with designing websites because we're waiting for that particular feature. I remember a time where Divi did not have Flexbox, and a lot of people were saying, Flexbox, Flexbox, Flexbox. Okay, now that we have Flexbox and many other features, what's the situation like? Have people started making a lot more money because Flexbox has been added? Absolutely not. Or at least I don't think so. In fact, if that's the case, I would like to hear your views on that in the video description below. So if you want to make money with your web design skills, you just have to master one platform. Of course, they differ. If you take the approach of, let's say, Divi, you have to master their proprietary way of designing websites. It's not a clear way of designing websites with your standard CSS and HTML. If you want that vanilla HTML, CSS, then you want to use something like Etch. But this is a design workflow that you are specifically deciding to do as your baseline. And that in itself is very, very important. So if you take Elementor here, you put Divi here, you put Bricks here. Can they design basic websites? Absolutely yes. Okay, which one is better? It's just going to depend on you. The workflow that you get with Divi, is that better than the workflow you get with Gutenberg? Some may find it more difficult with the Gutenberg. Some may find it more difficult with Divi. It just depends. But at the end of the day, what website are you building that is solving a problem for the client or the customer? So if you're a freelance designer, you know, or at least you should know, that the companies that pay for web design services are companies that are in business. Companies that want to increase sales, companies that want to make money. So then the question is, are you targeting those companies? Right now, we live at in a time where things are really, really exciting. You can create a booking website just like that. And there's so many solid plugins that allow you to build that. You know, just Fluent Booking alone gives you the opportunity to create any type of booking for any type of website. So as you can imagine, sometimes people are stuck in this debate of Divi this, Divi that, Divi this, Divi that. I think Divi this. No, learn the skills of marketing, finding those customers and building these websites super, super fast. If you want to make money designing websites, you need to learn the platform and then design these websites fast. And this is why you will see that for the past year, I've actually sacrificed not making a lot of money in order for me to create a standard or a system that allows us to design these websites fast. I started off with SiteKrafter, which was meant to be a time saver. You want to go in and instead of saying, oh, this text is 14 pixels, this one is 18 pixels, guessing along the way, that system gave you a standard where you just add your sizes and pretty much your website is consistent throughout. And then this evolved into Crafter Pro. Now, Crafter Pro is a design system and also it has a way to manage everything easier. So the idea with these products is to help you manage these things easy, which means every website you're going to build, you have a baseline, a standard of tools that you're going to use in order for you to build these websites for the clients, landing pages, lead capture pages, selling products, and so on. So if you want to be successful creating websites, you need to start off with a website platform that you choose. Learn it, master it, make sure that you have a design system that you use each and every time. And then once you have this design system, it's easier for you to now go in and start designing your website super fast. Secondly, you need a place where you can get all the information that you need, the documentation on how to use this. In the case of Divi, I've created 2 courses. One of them is the Divi Mastery course. It's a course that teaches you how to use Divi, because right now it's gone very complicated. It's more like a Photoshop. If you give Divi to a random person and ask them to use it, not random, I mean that's a bit too far. If you give Divi to someone who wants to learn how to design websites, Divi 5, it's going to be super complicated, because even I have to spend hours trying to find out how to do something very basic. You see, this is the challenge that we're having now, but there's a solution. I've created a course, a complete course that teaches you how to get up and running with Divi. Now, the second course teaches you the design workflow. What do you start with before you design a website? You start with A, and then you move on to B, and then you move on to stage C. Step-by-step process and mindset. And then not only that, I've taken this a step further. You have a design system that keeps you in the right parameters of web design in order for you to build consistent looking website every single time. Now, this is super powerful because you are going to increase productivity and your websites are going to look even more professional. So sometimes when we look at web design, we need to look at it more on the what can we do to achieve solutions for these companies. And that is what we need to look at. So the point of this video is, let's not spend so much energy thinking about features and features and features, but rather we're supposed to be discussing how do we achieve the client's goal. And if you start thinking along those lines, you'll start to realize that mindset shift is more proactive, and it's more of a mindset shift that is going to help you make more money with these tools that we are buying. Anyway, guys, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this topic that I've just discussed? Let me know in the comments box below. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.